It is voting season. With presidential voting only months away, Nigeria's Electoral Commission is battling to pull it off, starting with regulations.
All political parties know about these rules and regulations. They have the knowledge that before any major election, they can only start campaigning 90 days before that election and then stop 24 hours to the election. And the penalties for contravening these rules are well stated.
But penalties aren't stopping campaigns going up around the country, covertly and overtly. Several off-season elections are underway this year in some state and local government areas, but the majority of elections are scheduled to hold in the general elections next year. Federal polls in February for presidency and parliament, and state polls for governors in March. And campaigns for them cannot begin any time before December, according to regulations. 6 months before that window for campaign opens, the billboards are going up in record numbers. On street corners, along major highways, practically any surface that can hold a poster. It's a booming business young men are cashing in on. This group of workers has been doing it since 2007, putting up banners for any and all parties.
Since 2007, I've been doing the work. We have any political party that comes around, because most of them, we are family relations. At times, you can even stay more than a week without any of them coming. But sometimes in a week, you get like 2-3 banners. And during when it is maybe some months to elections, and especially most of this festival period, because some of them will like people to see them, telling people that Banka de Salah or Happy Xmas, most especially festive periods.
Any surface will work for a poster, but they have one this afternoon too large for a available surface. Instead, they extend the board to fit. This group of workers live and work around Ahmad Bello Way in Kefi, and this roundabout is their territory. They are guaranteed to keep any poster safe and offer the best exposure, and that's a marketing promise.
Always so duk wanda zai zo ya lallata wani abun wani ko APC ko Abuga ko PDP ba mu yadda, shi yasa su ma mutane suke kiran mu su ba mu aiki mu samu lura da shi.
Campaign is advertising, and all adverts, indoor, outdoor, online, in print, must go through the Advertising Standards Panel of the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, known as APCON.
That content, as I said, must be decent, must be legal, must be honest, and must be truthful and socially responsible, respecting our traditions, our culture, and what have you. So that is the essence of the purpose of that committee, is to protect Nigerians from unwholesome advertisements, from quacks that try to exploit the Nigerians by presenting something that is not qualitative or otherwise.
From 2015, APCON has received applications for vetting. Many were never approved, but it hasn't stopped political campaigns going around with or without approval.
Are these messages campaign messages to say that vote for XYZ in 2019 presidential election, or are these just general messages that talk about good governance or democracy and all of that? So, and remember, INEC does not have the power to arrest. The power to arrest lies with a different agency of government. We can collaborate with them to get things done. For instance, now you cannot say, you cannot put a billboard to say, vote for XYZ for president for 2019, you know, or vote Rahim for governor for 2019 general elections. You know, you can say vote for XYZ for governor of Ekiti State because that one is on now, but you cannot talk about 2019 general election because you see some off-season elections like these governorship elections have been conducted, Anambra, Edo, Ondo, and all of that, but some are going to be conducted alongside the presidential election. So you can't start campaigning for that now. So those are explicit messages. But where you don't have explicit messages, it becomes difficult to pin them down.
The business of political campaign takes advantage of bleak regulation by different agencies. A separate department of outdoor signage has to approve for billboards to be put up and collect fees for council authorities, but the boards are owned by APCON members who are approved to display adverts on them or rent them out to clients. In spots around the capital, the agency has marked billboards to be blanked. Reason? Either the boards are not owned by APCON members or their contents were never vetted. By default, sanctions are afoot.
Well, we have, first of all, we try a lot, as much as we can, to stop them from practicing entirely, because we check the boards. Most of the boards are owned by our members. They have their names. If you check the boards, you see that they have their own, the name of the person that owned that particular board. So where we found out that the owner of the board is not there, and we place our sticker which contain our numbers, and within a stipulated period has not been communicated back to us as in, then we have the right to go and remove that board, because by law he's not supposed to practice advertising.
But they are going up by the thousands and seemingly nothing to stop them.
So political parties not to do what they are not supposed to do until the time is right. Of course, over the years, you have some candidates or political parties, appearing to be breaching some of these rules. But of course, when we appeal to them, they fall in line. So again, we are an agency that believes in dialogue. We like to consult, we like to implore, we like to have conversations on areas of differences and all of that. Because we are here to serve the people. We are not here to put people in jail, but laws have to be obeyed.
APCON vetting grants year-long approval for advertising content, leaving license owners at liberty to stagger the 12 months to run into windows for political campaigns.
Those who deal with billboards, those who have the power or the regulation to display adverts and messages have their own rules and regulations, and we cannot dictate who they give the license to or how the license is used, but it will concern us if the messages contained on those billboards now touch on or infringing upon the rules that we have when it comes to elections, and that's when we take action.
The sanctions for campaigning outside approved windows can be as high as ₦1 million fine for a presidential election or 12-month imprisonment. For governorship, the fine is ₦800,000 or 9 months in prison. There is just one condition. They first have to be pinned down and prosecuted. That's the difficult part.